Hello everyone, today I'm going to be taking a look at another range of miniatures for the Dark Age by Victrix. This time round it's their Armoured Saxons. Okay, Victrix Early Saxon Armoured Warriors. The bag contains 36 miniatures across 6 identical sprues. We have on the reverse the assembly instructions by figure using the number lettering system we all know and love, along with some examples. However, as is now the case with Victrix, they also provide a little A5 sheet showing the pieces in their physical form as well as the numbering. So 6 bodies, your first 4, so B1, 2, 3 and 4, have specific heads. So 2 heads, or rather a single head and head with cloak for the body 1, 2 heads for 2, 2 heads for 3, but H5 has options on the back as to whether or not you have scraggly or long hair. And similarly, there is an option here with H7, H8. The chain at the back will go behind one of these 2 heads. One has got slightly more intricate work across the helm itself. The last 2 bodies I've got a set of 5 heads associated with them, and you can mix and match. Okay, so our sprue. Across the top you can see we have some of the heads, a single hand axe, a small targe type buckler shield, of which there are 4 of these on the sprue. There are 3 large domed or bull shields, and then there are also 3 flat shields. Everything's well labelled, and our bodies below are in the main legs and torsos complete, with the exception being this gentleman here. Nice detailing on the bodies themselves, and a lot of equipment with them, insofar as you've got your hand weapons, so there's plenty of swords, axes, but we've also got spears and javelins, single, and then some spares for the offhand. Looking at the very top then, we have another set of heads, including those 3 large flat shields, and some options with the spear as well, barbed and leaf bladed. So everything you sort of need to put together your hearthguard for your aethelings. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the assembled versions then. So I've done 2 of each body type to give you an idea. We can have a Viking king perhaps. So if you're into your British and Saxon period, so 4th, 5th century, you want to be doing your fighting in and around there, staving off the Scotty raids and the Picts. You can do this. 28mm to eye level, as you can see. The build was, as I would expect, relatively simple. A couple of sprue gates in unusual places. As you can see, the cloak there joins front to back. So it'll be mostly masked. Whenever you paint it, you may, if you're of the mindset, give it a little bit of putty over it just to help it drop a sprue goo. There were 2 things that cropped up whenever I was putting them together. And that is interchangeability of parts. So there are those lists for specific parts for specific models. However, if I bring in these, so this body, which I think is body 2. And I've got body 2 here, but I've actually got the head and weapon arm from body 3, just to see if they were interchangeable. And as you can see, despite the fact he's looking over his shoulder, he still fits pretty well. You've got the hair sort of flowing over the cloak, and then the spear or javelin arm here. It's got chain on this side, which matches in. You can see the bottom of a chain coat there anyway. So even though it doesn't specifically say this head and this arm works for this body, if you play around with dry fitting, you'll be able to do more builds than you would expect. This cloak was in a 2-piece, neatly hidden in one of the folds, which is quite nice. Of course, if you want to play some battles on the continent, these could also be allies for your late Roman forces, or it's a big area that the Saxons covered, you know, northern Germany and all of Denmark. So they could easily be other tribes. So I said there was a couple of things that came across. One is that you may be able to do a bit more mixing and matching. The other is, if I bring in this, so that's actually A18 on the sprue, not A19, which isn't a major thing because it's the only spear of that type that it could possibly be. But then we also have this body. If I bring the sprue in very quickly, the sprue gate is on the neck. And because of the way it's attached to the very back of the neck, when you clip it, you'll be left with like a shelf coming out of the rear. That'll need to be trimmed down. So a flush cut to the neck will actually leave a bit of an artifact behind. So just give it a little clip off before you pop the head on. Particularly like these ones with the cuirass over the top of the chain. Not taking any chances. But overall, a terrific set of figures if you plan on getting into your late Roman period, and then maybe start doing some of the fighting in and around the British Isles for games like Saga, for example, or Midgard heroic battles as well. So there we have it, the Armoured Saxons. There we go, another 36 Early Saxons. Your elites this time, be you Dane or Jute, engaging in fighting across all of Romano Britain or across the continent itself. Obviously these are fantastic for your elite warriors, his warlord, his bodyguard, herdsman or hearthguard, depending on what they were. But yeah, definitely nailed on for anybody who's playing that sort of late Roman, fall of Rome period, or who wants to play a lot of the Angle or the Saxon invasion of England as well. I suppose Britain, technically it wasn't England at that stage. But let me know what you think below. As always, I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.